Here shortly. I am Koshkii, your caster for tonight. And pretty soon we should get started here. The lobby is just about ready. Our first map is Dusk Towers. So very shortly here, our players will be starting their game. Lot of good talent here again tonight. I know last night we were saying the same thing, but really we've got some very strong players in this group as well. So yeah, starting here soon. Just making sure players are ready. Looks like we are just about to get the go-ahead. Yep, both players are ready. The game is now counting down. This is our first game of the evening tonight. And as I said, it is between JaKaTaK and Semper. Dusk Tower seems to be a favorite for just about every series, I will say. We seem to see this map a lot. It's a map that a lot of players are comfortable on. It's a very balanced map. There are a few cool things about it as well that players like to take advantage of, such as the cliff that kind of overlooks the fort. So still some interesting strats, even though it's a very common map. But here we go, spawning in the top right. We have got our blue Zerg representing Rival Gaming. It is JaKaTaK. And his opponent spawning down in the bottom left. We have got our yellow Terran representing Team Gravity. It is Semper. So we know that Semper, at least when I've seen him, he seems to favor a macro game. In fact, he is very strong, especially in the late game. He tends to do very well. He has very good macro, and it would not surprise me to see some very normal play out of him. You know, he'll do a couple drops. He'll want to take a little bit of map control, but he is overall a pretty macro-oriented player. Now, JaKaTaK, I haven't gotten to see his play as much, but he can have a few tricks up his sleeve. There are a few builds, I think, that can take a player by surprise. We'll see if that's what he's going for, but I think in this first game he may opt for more safe play, maybe for the start. It looks like he did open Hatch Gas Pool, a very standard Zerg opener for just about every matchup. We have a Reaper coming out for Semper. He's getting his orbital, and it looks like he will expand, so pretty standard Terran play as well. Both players starting this off, not going too crazy yet. But my guess is that Caleb may play a pretty standard macro game as well, just kind of seeing Semper's style and getting a feel for the player that he will be against. Hatchery just about to finish. Queens are being produced. 2 lings coming out for scouting. Oh, we've got 4 lings, so a couple extra lings. Maybe to help take care of the Reaper that is coming out across the map now. Speed being researched for Caleb. Pretty standard again. Like, speed, it's normal to see this pretty quick in ZVT. And the drones have been pulled off of gas, so that shows that nothing too crazy is going to happen here. He's not going to be saving up his gas for a quicker Rotoran. No, it looks like Caleb has a little bit of macro in mind. The Reaper has arrived in the base. The Lings trying to stay on the creep here to try and take down that Reaper if they can. The Queen is also out, which will really help the defense here. Nice little save on that drone, by the way, transforming it to save it. And behind the Semper, he's already gotten a factory. He's getting his starport out now, too. Getting a reactor, getting more gas. It's pretty standard Terran stuff. However, I'm wondering what he is going to use that starport for. Is he going to go for Liberators on this map? Liberators, they kind of are known to be a bit powerful if utilized well. 1 link goes down to this Reaper, but overall, the Reaper, it's going to get pushed back. It won't at least get any drone kills. Caleb does take his 3rd. So it looks like so far he's just playing, you know, he's just droning up and getting ready to go into this macro game. 2 Hellions are the choice out of this factory from Semper. Oh, and here we go, Semper! He has made a fusion core. I believe he will indeed be going for that Liberator range and utilizing that nice little spot that Liberators can tuck into that behind the natural. The Hellions, though, they're here to just poke around, be a little annoying at this third base. And we've got a lair now coming out for Caleb. The Liberator coming out for Semper. So we are going to see that Liberator range upgrade go soon. And interesting note, Caleb does not know this is coming yet. He does not know that a Liberator with range is coming out. I'm sure this is, you know, in the back of his mind that this can happen. Dusk Towers is a little notorious for a build like this. But, you know, he hasn't shown too much sign of preparing for it. When that layer finishes, he could go Spire, and that may help in some of the defense. But right now, there is not much to take out Liberators that are here, especially equipped with range. These Hellions, though, doing quite a bit of damage themselves. Taking out a Queen and really making mining down at this third base impossible. And at this point, there's not too much Caleb can do. He's got some Lings, but you can't fight this many Hellions with a few Lings. And now the Liberators, they are starting to get into position. Liberator range, not done yet, but it's starting to get there. And the Lings, yeah, they are just pushed back. Looks like another Queen will die. One of the Liberators already gets into position here, gets into liberation mode, and denies a lot of mining there at the main base as well. So right now, there's not too much mining that Caleb can do. The Liberator upgrade now finishing in 10 seconds. So once this comes out, life is going to be even tougher for Caleb. A Spire has gone down, but it will still be a while before Mutas can come out. This Queen's trying to get in a good position to take out that Liberator. Meanwhile, another Liberator arrives for Semper. Nice job taking out these Hellions. These Hellions have now been taking out. A lot of Lings had to go down to do that, but it has been pushed back for now. But the Liberators are out. There are 2 Liberators now. A lot of mining being denied. And meanwhile, behind this, Semper is just macroing up. He is getting battle cruisers and tanks. He is setting himself up here for a lot of success. And the Liberator just really tucked there. It's so annoying. The Liberator that was at Caleb's natural, but looks like it's now gone down to the third base. It is very tough to deal with this, and it's very annoying for Caleb. That Spire, though, is about to finish now for Caleb. This will be a big help. I mean, Mutas, they don't exactly trade well versus Liberators, but they're kind of what you need right now just to take the Liberators that are in liberation mode out. A lot of mining being denied basically everywhere here. These drones have got basically nowhere to go at the moment until the Mutas come out and take down the Liberators. Mutas start to arrive. They go for the Liberator that is at the main base. Will go down, and now I bet Caleb breathes a little bit of a sigh of relief as he can go back to mining at that base. It looks like the Liberator will go down quickly at the third two once the Mutas arrive to take it down. However, there has been so much mining that's been denied for Caleb that the supplies are radically different. The army supply for Semper is 33 to 17 of Caleb's. The worker supply really tells a lot too, 59 to 30, also in favor of Semper. So Semper really put himself ahead with that Liberator opener. The battlecruiser also working to take out some overlords here, doing what a Viking would normally do in this situation. So now Caleb does know that there are battlecruisers on the field, wondering what he thinks of that. We do have Baneling speed and melee attack being researched, though, for Caleb. Maybe more of a Ling Bling Muta style coming out. We'll see what Caleb has planned. The mutas, they go across the map while Semper just kind of looks and sees if there is a fourth base yet for Caleb. The mutas, though, they probably won't get too much done. There is a lot of defense at Semper's bases. I mean, he does have turrets ready. He kind of knows there's mutas on the field. He knows what he forced out. But behind this Semper, you know, he's about to finish stim. He's getting combat shield, 2/2 upgrades, +1 vehicle upgrades. I mean, he's looking in a great position. And Caleb, you know, it's 9 minutes. He still does not have his fourth. The amount of damage that Semper did just with the, you know, the economic damage has been very strong. Semper looking like he's moving out now. He's lifted up his tanks, his army moving across the map. This seems like a pretty good time to attack, as Caleb still doesn't have much. He's really trying to work on getting back in the game here. Semper working on his fourth base, continuing to macro behind this attack, and these supplies, again, are really telling. Overall supply 151 for Semper to Caleb's 96. Army supply is such a huge difference, 89 to 33. And Semper arrives. What could Caleb possibly do here to come back? This is just so much for Semper. Semper really set himself up well in this game. The tanks have landed. Caleb, oh, and the battle cruiser also blinks right in. The Banelings get some really nice hits off, but is it enough? I mean, there's still so much here for Semper. He just moves on forward. Couple Banelings make connections, but overall nice splits there from Semper. The Muta's also under fire. Looks like this third base will go down. The Muta's doing their best to save it, but overall it looks like it will fall. And GG well played is called. Semper takes game 1. So I won't lie, seeing that Liberator build, I believe it was Bunny who made this popular. Please do correct me if I'm wrong on that. I think that is the Bunny build. Seeing that was pretty exciting. It's very nice on Dusk Towers, as there is a little pocket behind the natural where you can really utilize that. And as we've seen, it just can really set you up for a lot of success. So very well played there from Semper. Once those Liberators got going, it was nearly impossible for Caleb to do any mining. That and the Hellions did quite a bit of damage as well. Our next game will be going soon. I think our next map is Prion Terraces. So a few maps got some changes not too long ago. Prion Terraces being one of them. Prion Terraces, if you are probably pronouncing it correctly. Instead of having the gold base at the third nearest the main, it is now it now has regular mineral patches, and the natural base has the gold minerals, if that makes sense. So there are a couple changes to that map to try and make it a little bit more balanced. We'll see how players utilize it. It was originally considered a bit weird versus other Zerg players, as you could do a lot of mining. You could take the 2 gold bases and harass and still have a really good economy behind it. So some players found that frustrating, but a lot of strategies have developed around it, and now we might see some new ones developed as the map has changed. So it'll be interesting to see how our players handle the way the economy works now on the map. I am solo casting for now, just a note. I see a couple questions there in chat. We do have me solo casting for the moment, but this won't be forever, just until JaKaTaK is able to join us.